We've got Dan and Funky next up on row 7 for Ish Leader and SJM, who was disqualified from the qualifying session. So he'll start 9. The race starts. Do not go anywhere. So run down on your grid then. So Panaskara on pole with Joe Royal alongside its Badfella and Speakwin on the second row. Wooly and Frankie are on row 3, followed by Sarking and Discots. Sonic and Robbo rounding out your top 10. Then we've got Flynn and Boas Knoll on row 6. Dan and Funky make up the 7th row, followed by Ishtray, Rollin, Charzy and Boavida and SJM. The only drivers that are not starting on the softs are Flynn, Knoll, Dan and Ishtray. They are all starting on the mediums. So we're raring to go for round 6 of the championship. Panaskara hoping for his first victory since Bahrain. He'll be thinking more about the championship at this point as we get ready for the start of the British Grand Prix here at Silverstone. So Panaskara slots into his position. And there's Panaskara alongside, and it's Badfella and Speakwin. Badfella is the one that Panaskara will be keeping an eye on, starting on the same side of the grid as the Mercedes. And then we'll just wait for SJM and others to slot into position, and we will be raring to go. So Panaskara on pole. Can he convert it into a race victory? Or can Joe Roll do something about that? The 5 red lights appear in front of the drivers. When they extinguish, we'll be racing here at Silverstone. It's the lights out, and away we go. Panaskara gets off the line very, very well. Joe Roll has been swamped by Badfella. Goes right round the outside of him as they go into Abbey Corner for the first time. Of Badfella. Now Badfella is going to be going after Panaskara as they make their way through the loop. So Panaskara leads with Badfella second. It's Joe Royal ahead of Speakwin. Frankie going side by side with Wooly over 5th place, with Discord, Sarking, Flynn and Robbo completing your top 10. There's the other Mercedes of Funky going off track there on the exit of Aintree. And now Badfella will be looking to make a move here on Panaskara as they come towards the old pit straight now. Is Badfella going to go for a move here? To the outside he's going to do so, but there's not going to be enough room for 2 cars to get through in one corner without incident. So Badfella stays in 2nd place. They may be able to get a move on Panaskara on the hanger straight. So they come out of the section of Chapel. Can Badfella get into the slipstream here? He can, but he's not going to be close enough to have a go still. So it seems to be a fairly clean start from the drivers there as SGM gets in front of Vida for 14th position. So SGM's made a fine start to this one. And Panaskara posting a new fastest lap, well, the first fastest lap of the race, but that time will come down as the race thickens. So there's no DRS for the first 2 laps of the race. Badfella will be wanting to get a move on here. He may decide to wait until the DRS has been enabled to make his move. And Funky's in the pits for a new front wing at the end of lap 1. He's going to go onto the hard tyres, which will see him to the end of the race on those. So, right on board with Panaskara. The rear wing view sees him ahead of the Aston Martin. Trevor still sticking in there. We've just seen a move for a moment of Woolley trying to get past Quinn for 4th place. Panaskara still fending off the Aston Martin at the moment. Can Badfella gain the exit out of there? Decides not to go for it at the moment. No, it's just another glitch that we saw there in the background. As Badfella continues to pile on the pressure as the leaders come around to complete the second lap. And Royal with the fastest lap of the race. And someone's gone off in sector 3. That'll be Frankie in the Ferrari who's gone round. So he's fallen down the order. He was running in 6th. He's fallen way down to 15th place. Now Badfella opens the rear wing. Ooh, he's going to go to the inside and he completes the move there, or does he? Because Panaskara still holding firm there. Forces the Aston Martin to the outside. I think the Aston Martin driver is going to take the... Oh, it's contact! Contact between the Aston Martin and the Mercedes. That's going to allow Joe Royal to pass the pair of them, surely. Royal on the inside of Badfella. He's still going side by side. Can he get in front by the time they get into Maggots? No, he can't. And so the Aston Martin stays behind and getting out of shape through the complex there. And now he's going to be approaching the Mercedes with ease. Does Panaskara go defensive here? He doesn't this time. And so Badfella should take the lead here, which he does so. So Badfella in front of at the British Grand Prix. Panaskara waiting behind in second. And Woolley's got in front of Quinn as well. So the DRS seemingly proving to be very effective here at Silverstone today. And so Royal to the outside of Panaskara. Now he'll have the DRS as well as Panaskara, so he's going to find it difficult to get him on the Wellington straight. So Royal to the outside. Does he get through into second place here? I think he does. Or does he? Because the game has decided to glitch itself. But Royal has done it this time. So Badfella leads. Royal second. And now Woolley's closed in on Panaskara whilst him and Royal have been fighting over the position. Now we watch Scott's tussle with Sarking over 6th place. Down the order. So here's your top 4 in your picture. Beginning of lap 5 now. The driver's coming onto the Wellington straight. SJM's gone for another spin. He's off at Farm there, and he's got front wing damage. Discots has got in front of Sarking as well into 6th place. And now as we watch the leaders come through the old pit straight once more. And Sarking back ahead of Discots into 6th position. There's Flynn, who's in 10th place as we watch Robbo go toe-to-toe with Sonic Gamer. He's run wide at Bale, and the game just continues to have its own glitch. And this is the really annoying thing that we have all been suffering in the last few weeks. Now Royals within a second here of Budfella. Could we see another different leader? So rear wing open. Royal won't be close enough to have a go on Budfella, I don't think. No contact made there. That was quite nearly, actually. And SJM into the pits. As Imboravida gets a track limits penalty. Joe Royal got a really poor exit coming out of Luffield. And now he's going to have Panaskara right on his tail. So hard tyres going on SJM's car. As the leaders continue to go through. Royal ran wide at Beckett's before he rejoined. So there's your leaders. Budfella continuing to lead with Joe Royal still behind. He'll continue using the DRS, but he's not going to be close enough to have a go on the Aston Martin, so it really could come down to the pit stops later on. Royal not quite close enough there, but at least he's still using it to fend off Panaskara behind. Just 3 drivers with time penalties at the moment. They are Quinn, Charlesy and Imboravida. 19 still running. So there's Royal using the DRS. And then we can see a move here from Woolley as he goes side by side with Panaskara, who didn't use the DRS because I don't think it was within a second of Royal. And that's how Woolley through into 3rd place. And Sarkin's dropped down the order because he's gone off into the barrier that has cleared the polystyrene blocks. He could well be coming into the pits at the end of this lap. So Woolley with a new fastest lap. He's up to 3rd place. And Sarking continuing to spin rounds. He wants to keep out of the wall, mate. There's Royal behind Budfella in the battle for the lead still. And Sarking continuing to spin round. He needs to be careful here. As Sonic Gamer has just been overtaken by Robbo, who goes up to 7th place. And Sarkin's gone off yet again. This time at Abbey. Front wing damaged. Well, it looks like the front wing was damaged anyway. But I imagine he'll be in the pits at the end of this lap. So leaders go past Stoke on it. Now can Robbo get in front of Discords here? Not this time. As Panascara comes into the pits. Now that's quite early actually. End of lap 8. So he's going to try the undercut. And Speakwin is also in for AlphaTauri. And a new front wing's going on actually for Panascara, so that could explain his drop in pace. He'll drop behind the Williams of Charlesy, I would imagine. And he's been overtaken by Speakwin as well, because Speakwin didn't need that front wing replacement, whereas Panascara was able to, and that cost him more time. So that's bad luck there for Panascara. So I think he's going to fall down to 14th place behind Roland. Or 15th, I should say. Discots has dropped down the order as well. He's gone for a spin. Has rejoined. And Panascara has gone for a spin as well, this time in the Mercedes. Spray's going from bad to worse, and Badfiller has been penalised for track limits, so that's a bad dent to his race. And a lifeline thrown to Royal. So Badfiller comes in. And Sonic Gamer not able to get the car slowed down in time. He gets a 5-second penalty. And Badfiller also needed a new front wing change, so it's not just Panascara. So both championship contenders were in need of front wing replacements. So this has the advantage really now between Royal and Woolley. Charlesy also penalised for speed in the pits. Sam also given 3 seconds for track limits. So Sarking behind them, who's a lap down, is on mediums. He's just pitted as well, so Royal and Woolley will need to look out for him. But should be coming in shortly at either at the end of this lap, at least one of them, or the next one. That'll be Woolley's car deciding to glitch. So rear wing is open. Does he go for a move? The answer is no. And both of them deciding to stay out for another lap, which is interesting. For his only stop of the race, Flynn goes up to 4th place. Could see him in the lead of the race later on. So Robbo rejoins without any drama. Someone's gone off at turn 1. That'll be Sarking. Is it Sarking? No, it's Istrai this time. So Istrai's gone for a spin in the Haas. Badfiller has decided to slow down because we've got a virtual safety car. So that's good news. Is that good news for Joe Royal and Woolley? Well, it will be, because if the virtual safety car stays out, for when they do come into the pits, then they'll gain ground on Badfiller and Panascara. Now they need to make sure that they don't exceed the delta they set out for them. Almost crashing into each other by the looks of things. And they're both pitted in this lap. And they've both been penalised, I think. And they have. So Joe Royal and Woolley have been given drive-through penalties for speeding under the virtual safety car. Now, they may take them this lap, actually. Or is it going to be for pit stops? No, I think it's going to be their drive-throughs first. So that's a really bad dent to their racers now. So Flynn will take over the lead on the road in the Red Bull. He's still yet to come in for a pit stop. Frankie's in for Ferrari. That is such bad news for Royal and Woolley now in the fight for the race victory. So the drive-through penalty has left Royal and Woolley in second and third places, but they're going to drop an awful long way back when they do come in for their pit stops. Amazingly, they're still in front of Budfella, but they won't be for long. So there's Dan and Noel fighting over fourth place on the road. They need to watch for Budfella behind as well, because he's the one fighting for the lead effectively here. And it looks like someone has gone off there in sector 2. Can't quite tell who that was. May just be a glitch. Either way, Budfella going past Boas Noel here into 5th position. That was a very nice move there from the Aston Martin. And this should surely be 4th place here as he tries to get through on Dan by going onto the grass. Now, Dan should have left him more room there. And Budfella almost looked like he was going to lose it, but thankfully he didn't. So he goes up to 2nd place now because Royal and Woolley are coming into the pits to serve their mandatory pit stops. Budfella posting a new fastest lap of the race as well. Medium's going on Woolley's car. And the same for Royal as well. So Panascaro will move back ahead of them. He's effectively... Where is he now, Panascaro? As we watch someone go for a spin at sector 1, but that's cleared away very quickly. I think that may have been Charlesy who's gone for a spin. Rolling in also for Williams. He should come out in 13th position. He might not do, actually, because this try is just going over the line now. And he's just been penalised for track limits. So Flynn, in the race lead, has got so much track position at the moment. This will come in handy, actually, for Flynn later on when he does eventually pit in. And if there was to be a safety car, he's very much in play for the race victory. The question is, how long do you remain out there for? I would say round about lap 16 or 17. So Budfella coming into the pits. Now what is this for? He's got a 3-second time penalty. Has he had a collision with someone? Now, I'm not sure what's happened here, to be honest with you. It may well be a drive-through penalty. That's another twist to the Grand Prix then. Yeah, it's a drive-through. So Budfella also had a drive-through for speeding probably under the VSC. So the favourite to win this race now has to be Speed Quinn, because he's just gone past his teammate now. His teammate let him through very easily, it has to be said. So Quinn's on course for the victory. Sonic Gamer has just lost 2nd position effectively to Robbo. And now Panascaro's right behind him. So all of this has left Joe Royal, Woolley and Budfella down to 10th, 11th and 12th on the road. This is good news for Panascaro in the championship. Royal gets past Discots as well into 9th. So he's fighting back. Discots has gone into the hard compound tyres, which is actually surprising. And Robbo's just lost 2 positions there in one swoop because Sonic Gamer and Panaskara have gone through ahead of him. No, all three of them are pitted, so this is actually genuinely for position. And Panaskara is through into 4th position. So Flynn's gap to Spequent is under 12 seconds. The gap he's got over Panaskara is just under 20 as Bedfellow gets another penalty for track limits. So we go back to Flynn. Now he started the race 11th on the grid. And someone's gone round in sector 2. Who is that? That's Charzy, who's just getting out of the way of the leaders, I think. It's nothing dramatic. And Panaskara is now ahead of Sonic Gamer. It's a brilliant battle here. Lots of twists, it has to be said. Now, we had a virtual safety car, which I think took its toll on the drivers in this race, actually, and the way it's influenced them. Of course, Badfella, Joe Royal, and Wooly getting drive-throughs. This Funky gets another penalty in this race now to 6 seconds in the Mercedes. And Charzy is out of the race. He's crashed out at Farm. Virtual safety car deployed. Now, this could be good news here for Flynn, but he needs to be careful and does not make the same mistake as what Budfella, Joe Royal and Wooly did earlier. Now, SJM comes into the pits to get another set of tyres on. Probably get a set of softs on, he may as well. So Charzy is the first retirement from this race. The debutant not going any further. He's had a lacklustre session tonight, it has to be said. And Flynn does decide to come into the pits. The VSC is still deployed at the moment. So now he's in the pits. He can gain from these guys who are still out there. Boris Knoll will be wanting to get into the pit lane as well, which he does so now. Gets the car slowed down in time. In fact, no, he didn't. So it's a 5-second penalty there for Boris Knoll. But Flynn rejoins on soft compound tyres. He's left his box. Panaskara isn't going at full speed down the start-finish straight. I think he's going to still be ahead of him, actually. And Dan's been given a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC, so that'll be him in the pits within the next 3 laps. Flynn rejoins in 6th, ahead of Joe Royal. So Flynn in play for the race victory. Sonic Gamer's off. So Sonic Gamer's off at Aintree. I don't know if he's had a coming together with someone, but either way, he has lost it and has fallen down the order. Now, is that Panaskara off the track? No, it's not. It's Funky's off the track at Cops. And I've seen that Spequent's been given another time penalty as well. 9 seconds it is. So as it stands, Panaskara will be taking the victory as Funky goes off the track. He's gone off into the barrier as well. So 9 laps to go then. Spequent in the lead on the road, but Panaskara is within enough margin of him to take second, or to take the victory, I should say. And Speakwin will drop down to second place as it stands. Budvilla posting a new fastest lap of the race. Willie gets penalised for track limits. Whereas Noel continuing to get penalised now in the AlphaTauri. It's just going from bad to worse for him. He was penalty free before he came into the pits. As Funky comes in for another set of tyres. He's had a night to forget as well. So Speakwin in the lead right now. And Badfellow going past Sonic Gamer into 8th place on the road. He will not want to hear that Panaskara is in play for the victory here, despite the front wing problems he had earlier on. So it's a 3.6 second gap between Quinn in the lead and Panaskara in second. And Frankie fancies his chances of a podium here today. Can he get past Robbo here into Brooklands? The answer is yes. And Boravida into the pits. And now Robbo fights him back on the Ferrari. And Flint continuing his stride at the moment. He doesn't have the fastest lap of the race. Badfellow has that. Now he's on the threat here from Royal and Woolley in the battle for 5th place. He's not been able to pull away from them, and someone has gone wide at sector 1. Couldn't quite tell that though, as that may well be a glitch. So as they head towards Maggots and Beckett's. Now Royal's got an opportunity to get ahead of the Red Bull here. He's run wide though. Oh, he very nearly lost it there with Royal. And now Willie's going to be alongside in the other Red Bull. And this is surely going to be 6th place going to him instead. That could have ended disastrously for him. Now Panaskara is not far behind Quinn here. 1.7 seconds is the gap. Just 2 drivers lapped in this race. They are Imboravida and Funky. Dan is almost a lap down. And so Flynn's been overtaken by his teammate, and looks as though Royal's trying to get through as well. Now Flynn does make contact, but he's allowed the Alpine to go past. And so Royal is up to 6th position. Now Badfellow is next behind. He's got a penalty, remember, though. Badfellow will need to get on with this here. To the inside he goes. Flynn leaves him enough space. Badfellow right round the outside. I think he's going to find himself overtaking the Red Bull here. It's into the slipstream. Here he goes. Does he go for it on the inside? I think he's trying to do it on the outside here. And he's passed the Red Bull into 7th place on the road. But Flynn's fighting back though. There's no way he's going to get through from that. And we'll go back to the leaders here because Panascar is going to take the lead here from Quinn. No problem whatsoever, and he's through. And there's a battle going on further behind between Frankie and Robbo. Now from Romeo to the inside, and this should be him going past the Ferrari. Not quite so. So Panascara leads with 4 laps remaining. So we're looking at the penalties at the moment. As it stands, Speakman would still keep hold of 2nd place. So Robbo's been given another time penalty as well. So just looking at the gaps, Robbo would fall behind Royal at the end of this race. So he's about to lose 1 position as it stands. Now Badfellow, where he is at the moment, he would move in front of Woolley. No, in fact, no, he wouldn't. He would in fact lose a position to Flynn. As it stands right now. So Robbo and Frankie going nose to tail. And someone's gone off at sector 1. Who's that that's gone off there? It may well have been Dan, actually, who just got out of the way of the leaders. So Quinn's staying in touch with Panascara at the moment. Now, Quinn, so within the margin, means far enough ahead of Frankie at the moment. So just 2 virtual safety cars in this one. No safety cars at all as Badfellow's race gets even worse. 9 seconds he's got now of time penalty, including the 3 he's just been given. Oh, and someone's off. It's Badfellow. Badfellow off on the exit of Chapel, and his race has come to an end. And SJM has gone as well on the exit of where the loop is, actually. So 2 cars have gone in an instant. I think at this stage of the race now, I don't think the safety car is going to be deployed. Panascar has started the penultimate lap, but Badfellow's race has ended in the barrier. Now, he's only just been given a time penalty there, so I wonder what the stewards may think of that. Because that may well look like a deliberate crash there for Badfellow that could have been avoided. Either way, he will not be scoring any points today. And Panascara has a golden opportunity to extend his lead drastically at the top. Could be as high as 60 points by the end of this race. So that moves Boris Knoll up to 9th on the road and Discourse up to 10th. So, in what's been a fairly clean race of all, although we've seen drivers coming for new front wings and drive-through penalties, but the drama's pretty much begun in the final few laps here. Frankie moving ahead of Robbo there. These two fighting still over the final podium position. The pair leave each other enough space, and Frankie's been given a time penalty of 6 seconds, so this is very much a firm fight for the final podium spot, or will it be? Because Joe Royal is within 6 seconds of both of them, and he'll go to the podium, it seems, by the end of this race. So Panascara is on his final lap here at Silverstone. What a brilliant recovery drive it has been from him. So Speakwin's second place looks secure now. It's just a matter of where the others will finish. Joe Royal is on course to finish on the podium once the penalties have been applied. But here's Panascara. Will retain his record of finishing in the top 2 in every race so far this season. This time it's going to be a victory at Silverstone. As Funky goes off track at Farm Corner. Panascara crosses over the line to win the British Grand Prix at Silverstone in Tier 3 in the WOR. Brilliant stuff from him. Speakwin comes home second. But we want to go to the battle for third place on the road because Robbo and Frankie are still fighting over it. But Frankie spins! Frankie has spun on the exit club corner, nearly taken out by the Red Bull and the Alpine. Royal goes to the podium with Woolley in 4th place, Robbo 5th, Flynn is classified 6th, Frankie down to 7th place. Sonic Gamer in 8th, Boas Knoll will be 9th. Or they will drop back behind Discots as it stands. So Discots is 9th, Boas Knoll 10th. Istrai will drop down as it stands to 12th behind his teammate Sarking. Rolling it will be 13th. Dan a lap down in 14th place. In Boavida 15th. Funky will be 16th. But Panascara wins for the 2nd time this season. And do at Silverstone. And it's 2 wins apiece in the title battle between him and Badfella, who crashed out in the final few laps here. So the Panascara out onto the podium, extends his lead at the top, which is now 60 points between himself and Badfella as we go into the 2-week break. So your final race result sees Panascara win at Silverstone and gain the point for the fastest lap. Speakwin second with Royal third. There's no point for the fastest lap, I should say. Joe Roll was third after the drive-through penalty he served earlier on. Woolley fourth, had a Robbo. Flynn was sixth. Frankie in a disappointing 7th place after that spin. Sonic Gamer 8th, Discots 9th, and Boris Knoll rounding out the top 10. Sarking 11th, his try was 12th, followed by Rollin, Dan, Mbovida and Funky, who were the rest of the finishers. Badfella retired with 3 laps left, as did SJM. Charzy was the only driver not classified. So 18 out of the 19 that started were classified as finishers. As I've already mentioned, Ponaskara has extended his lead at the top to 60 points over Badfella after 6 rounds. The next round is to be, I believe, at Spa in 2 weeks' time. It was meant to be Hungary earlier, but I think they changed it to Spa for the PlayStation tiers. Either way, we go to Spa next week on October the 18th for the Tier 3 race, 8 p.m. British Summer Time. So do tune in for then. If you are watching the other tiers, there's also the Xbox, the Tier 1 tier in the on Xbox. That's happening tonight. Tuesday, there's Tiers 2, 4, 6 and 7 for Xbox, and the same for Wednesday for Tiers 3 and 5. Thursday, the remaining tiers of 8, 9, 10, 11 for Xbox is then. And then on Friday, there's PlayStation tiers 1 and 2. And finally on Sunday, are all the PC tiers of 1, 2, 3 and 4 at 7 p.m. then, British Summer Time. Thank you for joining us. Do make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Apologies for the broadcasting issues. We had some connection issues earlier on which stopped the broadcast. We were able to get back in time just before the race starts. Thank you for joining us. We'll do it all over again in a couple of weeks' time. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the WOR returns.